Awesome. Okay. Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for joining. I'm Anne, and I am a Dallas transplant. I moved to Austin a year ago. It still doesn't feel like a year because the whole year was just, but I have with me, my co-hosts are Brittany and Brandon. Do you guys want to introduce yourselves and just talk a little about for people who don't know what y'all do, because I know y'all from Dallas because of the vegan community, but people in Austin might not know what you guys do. Either of you can start.
Brittany, take the lead.
Brandon. Hi guys, I'm Brittany, also known as Fineapple Vegan. I am a mama first, and I'm a wife, and I'm a YouTuber, and I just teach people how to make vegan food. Like the food you like to eat, soul food, southern food, anything, I like to make it vegan. And I also created this cheese sauce called Liquid Gold that I ship nationwide. It's pretty bomb. But that's pretty much it. I'm just trying to break some vegan stereotypes.
Oh, that's good. I guess I'll go. My name is Bam, owner of Bam's Vegan. I got my guy Jesse back there, and he's half of Bam's Vegan. What we look at bringing to the table is just our approach to veganism or plant-based eating. We're like, whatever it looks like, we just want people to naturally migrate towards us. So we don't put out anything that makes people feel uncomfortable, to make them feel a certain type of way, shame them, shun them. It's like people flock, I don't say flock to us, but they come to us because they know they'll be accepted. So if we can still supply people with healthier options, I feel like that's what we are here to do, and we're gonna keep going from that standpoint. And I'm from Louisiana, but I'm in Dallas now, and Anne is one of my favorite people.
You are one of my favorite people, Brandon. Another thing about Brandon and Brittany is that they both started out doing pop-ups at the Dallas Farmers Market and other places. And Brandon, can you tell us where you're reporting from right now?
Yeah. I guess I can kind of go to the backstory. So when it comes to plant-based dining, plant-based dishes in general, we started at just doing regular pop-ups. So I'll go to people, I'll say, hey, are you using your kitchen on Tuesday, on Wednesday? And if they're not using it, I'll pay them to use it. I'll get in there for a couple hours. I think with that starting off, it kind of really started a fire, because once you start doing pop-ups, you want to go to the next big thing. So the next big thing was the market, and obviously, natural progression is to get your own space. So right now we're located in Irving, Texas at 2301 North O'Connor Road. And we're about to open up a smoothie and wrap joint, which focuses on 100% plant-based food smoothies and dope sandwiches and wraps, man. So that's what we do. We in Irving, Texas.
Excited. Okay, before we dive into, I have a guideline. I think everyone here knows me. I don't think I mentioned what I do, but I'm a designer by day. I'm a landscape architectural designer. That's my day job. Outside of that, I have a food blog and I do recipes, and I like to hype up people like Brandon and Brittany. My friends have a joke that my side job is I'm a hype girl. So, oh, Destiny, hi, it's so good to see you. I saw
what up, Destiny?
We miss you too. Oh my gosh. Okay, so to dive into the discussion, we already did a short intro. I want you to all talk about where you're from and what your family's background is. Either one of you can take it away.
Okay, I'll go first. Originally, I am from Thibodaux, Louisiana. I normally don't say Thibodaux, Louisiana, because people are like, where's that? So I just say New Orleans. It makes everything easier. So we have a culture in just Cajun, soul food, Southern dishes, to where that's all my people know. So my mom, she owned a Cajun and soul food restaurant back in the Gap. Obviously, she did not cook vegan food. She had pork chops, fried chicken, everything on the menu. But I want people to know, because it's the same lineage. My mom did this, but we can pretty much do those same things but make it vegan. So a lot of people, all her old friends and everything that used to go to her restaurant, they're like, how do you go from this and then your son's making vegan food? But the beautiful thing is that it ties in together because they notice that we can still create Cajun soul food dishes without using, any animal byproducts. So, from Louisiana. What about you, Brittany?
I mean, you said it. No, no, but it's pretty much similar. I'm from East Texas. I grew up in a really tiny town called Clarksville, Texas. It's close to a little town called Paris, Texas. But my background, my mom is Puerto Rican and French. So her dad is Puerto Rican and her mother is French Canadian. And my dad is Black and Blackfoot Indian. But growing up, I was really drawn to like my more Southern roots. Like I grew up eating really a lot of soul food dishes. A lot of the stuff you see me recreate. And I mean, it's very similar to what he said. Like I learned how to cook from my mom. Like, and my grandmother, and I just took everything that they taught me and I just turned it into, I just made it vegan because we didn't stop eating animal products because we didn't like the way it tastes. Like, let's be honest. We stopped for other reasons. And I just wanted people to know that you don't have to sacrifice the taste to get good food. And you can have your vegan pork chops. I just served that last week and people were shook. Like, you don't have to eat animal body parts and products and stuff to have good food, and you don't have to sacrifice flavor to have good food. Like it comes hand in hand. We just have to undo all of the, I guess, unteach everything that we were brought up on, and it'll happen. Give it some time. We're taking over a little bit at a time.
Y'all are taking over. I miss you guys. My background, I'm Vietnamese. My parents are from Vietnam and I grew up in Oklahoma. My story is a little different because I was raised vegetarian basically. And with Vietnamese food, if you're vegetarian, usually that means vegan because dairy is not really used in Vietnamese food a lot. And also for Buddhist vegetarianism, which was really big in my family, eggs were also not really used. So that's how I came to veganism. And I'm curious to ask you guys about whenever you guys decided to go vegan or plant-based, what was your family's reaction and how has it influenced, your relationship with your family or your relationship with your heritage?
Ladies first.
Well, we're taking turns. Well, when we first went vegan, we actually tried it like years before. So we've been vegan going on 4.5 years, but we actually tried about 8 years ago. We lasted maybe a month and a half and it was just like, I need a burger. But after we did it again, our family, they were like, you tried this before, whatever. It'll be another week or so, you'll be eating meat again. But then they realized that we weren't and they were against it. Like the first year I did Thanksgiving, but it was like, I made so many mistakes. Like I ended up accidentally using like products that had like milk in it that I didn't know, or products that had like egg in it that I didn't know. So it still kind of felt like Thanksgiving to them, especially around holidays and stuff. But after I learned how to get it together, my family kind of got on board. Like my family, they're all meat eaters except for my husband's mom and my mother. So we've managed to transition both of our mothers into veganism. The other ones are slowly coming around. They were against it at first, but it's like, you need meat, you need your protein. Like we are supposed to have meat. You need to stop listening to what you're seeing on the internet and you need all this stuff. You're going to die if you don't have meat. You're going to die if you don't have milk. So it was very difficult at first, but now they're coming around. Like they're actually the ones that are at the kitchen right now. For those of you who follow me, I'm doing an event tonight. I'm not there. They're there. The meat eaters. They're handling it and they love my food. Like they're hoping that I don't sell out so that they can have some food after it's over. So I mean, they're on board basically.
That's awesome.
Me, I've always been an oddball, so I wouldn't say like my family took it any other type of way. It was more so just like a natural progression in the way that I've always been living. I've always been earthy. I graduated in environmental science, so I was very, into sports and everything like that. So worrying about like fitness, health, and everything. But I think with me kind of like being, I'm gonna say kind of like a pillar in my family, like nobody really poked fun at it because they knew I was doing something for a reason. You know what I'm saying? Like they knew I always stressed it in the benefits of it. So a lot of them, they didn't follow my lead fully, but they took what I did seriously. So that's why a lot of times, like when I'm around my family, like even my staff right now, it's majority family. So they help me just like Brittany, you know what I'm saying? So like, I think a lot of people fear doing something or even telling their family members because they fear rejection. Like, yo, if your family reject you over eating better or doing better for your body, you might need to find a new family. So I just think it was pretty simple. They still listen to the things that we say, that I talk about. I study with them. They up here helping me. They're gaining the knowledge. So I think what we're doing, especially between me and Brittany, since we're on the call, I think it's for the Black community is like it's a beautiful thing because this is like new territory to us. So if we can be the youth that actually like pushes forward, let me not even say an agenda because I hate the word agenda, but just the natural message of eating better. You know what I'm saying? Like we can save a lot of people from like an early death or preventable diseases and preventable illnesses. So
you better say that, Bam.
I'm just saying, man.
Yeah, I love that you brought that up because I would love for y'all to speak about like how what you guys are doing has impacted the Black community in Dallas. I think it's so important, and I really look up to you guys and support all of the things that you guys do.
Well, your turn.
I went first last time.
All right, whatever. So the crazy thing is like I don't pay attention to like a lot of social media stuff. And it's crazy because like that's where I make majority of my business, but I don't get consumed by it. So even like when people come to visit me at the market, like normally my back is turned or I'm cooking or I'm running around. So I don't really get to interact with people the way I want to. So a lot of times I'll get secondhand information from either my mom, my sister, Jesse, you know what I'm saying? Like about what people say about the brand that we're building in Dallas. And especially coming from people, you know what I'm saying? Like African-American people, like I start paying more attention to it. So I try to free myself from the back. I go to the front, I talk to people, and it's true, the things that they were saying is like, yo, like I had somebody literally say that like, I don't know how, but if somebody tells you that, you can't doubt that you're on the wrong path, bro. Like if somebody literally says like, yo, like I've been eating your way for 3 years and you saved my life. So that's kind of like, that means a lot. So just one person telling me that, I feel like we're doing enough, for the Dallas area for our people. So
yes, I definitely agree. It's I mean, and even with, I think that that's the big thing with us, because I was just trying to show people how I was feeding my family. That's how it all started.
yeah.
But especially on YouTube, because that's where I started completely. Before I even started serving food, I started on YouTube because I just showed people how I did for my family. But I noticed that I transitioned a lot of people, and a lot of Black people. Like that made me feel really good. Like because of you, I'm off of my diabetes medicine, or I'm off of this. Like I don't have to take certain things anymore. And to hear that, like being diabetic is a really big thing. Like people die from being I lost my grandmother. She had diabetes. Like, so hearing people say that, my diabetes is like going away and I don't have to take high blood pressure medication because I changed the way that I eat, because following your recipes. And if y'all know me, my recipes aren't always the healthiest things as far as like if you want to say health food, because I do a lot of fat food, but I do things that kind of make us backslide. Like you're going to crave a burger, you're going to crave chicken, you're going to crave that type of stuff. So that's why I make those things. So to hear people say, you are the reason that I stopped eating this, or you are the reason that I subbed this instead of that, that does make me feel good. And it makes people look forward to eating vegan. So they're not looking at it as, oh, this is vegan food, she makes vegan food. They're looking at it as, oh, she makes some bomb food. Like they take the word vegan out altogether half the time. Sometimes they're eating it and they're like, wait, this is vegan? Like, yeah, go ahead, enjoy, So, I mean, it does feel good. And like he said, we're just going to keep going because it's growing. Every day there are new vegan chefs, there are new vegan entrepreneurs, like, and that makes me feel amazing. Like knowing that they see us do it and they feel like they can do it, because you really can. if you have a strong support system behind you and you have good people in your circle, you won't fail. You won't fail at all. It's impossible.
I'm gonna be the devil's advocate here.
Oh.
It's not a bad thing though. I know this is a vegan call, you know what I mean? But I think the term, you know, like vegan definitely catapults it into its own category. But I think the longer we go with that, outside of people looking at what you're serving as food, they're always gonna like have that buffer before they do something. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, say if I made a dish and somebody was looking at it, is about to eat it, whatever, and I said, oh yeah, that's vegan. And they was like, oh no, I don't eat vegan food, and they put it away. Didn't even try it, didn't even do anything with it. But that connotation of something being vegan, they automatically don't want to try it. Mm-hmm. So obviously, like, still labeling your food vegan, still labeling your brand name vegan, like whatever it is, it's still labeling it that way so people know what it is. In the future, I think my mission, me personally, is to really diminish the fact that people have to put vegan behind food. I want people to just eat my stuff, not even care what it is, just know it tastes good. But just, I don't have to put those certain things in it. So I think it's gonna be, obviously, you know, like with veganism being on the rise, like we have to say these things to start differentiating, to give it its own platform. But over time, I really want to see that diminish, because I really do feel like it puts a buffer in the heads of a lot of people before they try a dish. If that makes sense.
No, that does make sense.
That's, I just want to kind of like just, food is food. It's good food, healthy food.
Yeah.
So that's it.
You're right, bro. I agree. You got it. That's true.
Yeah, I like to, back whenever we used to go to work, I don't like to tell people that I'm vegan right away. I wait till, they try something that I make, and then I let them know after, because there is definitely that stigma. Yeah. I would love for y'all to speak on, how your heritage, your culture, your family background has influenced the way that you cook, or like the things that you make. How has it influenced what you do in the food space, and what does it mean to you?
I try to bring, my kids. I try to bring everything that I've learned into the kitchen. Unfortunately, I'm not really familiar with my Native American background, like the way they ate. But I am very familiar with my Afro-Latina, combination. I do bring a lot of my Puerto Rican background into my soul food, because to me, they go hand in hand. That's how I grew up. Like, I can't even explain it. It goes hand in hand. Like, I've sent, for instance, I've sent some of my products to some of my family members who are Latina, and this tastes just like whatever your mom made. This tastes just like what grandma used to make. Like, I'm definitely bringing all the flavors into my food, and you can taste it. You can taste that it's something else in there, like, but I don't really try to separate it. It kind of just blends together. It's just who I am. I really can't even explain it. You've tried my food.
Yeah.
So what about you, Bam?
I think my thing is like, it's a combination of a couple things. Like, my mom, she was an alchemist, bro. Like, she literally created something from nothing. Like, and I told the story, I could probably look in the fridge, open the door like 20 times, and see some parsley and a cucumber. And, obviously when we were younger, she just made a full-blown meal. I'm like, Mama, it only had 2 things. What'd you get? Like, so I just never knew. So that creativeness really came from her, to being able to see what you're provided and actually create something from it. I guess kind of like a competition plating aspect came when I was younger, just because when my mom used to work a lot, we had to fend for ourselves. We made noodles a lot. So with the instant ramen pack noodles, if you follow directions, everybody put our noodles in there all the same. So when me and my brothers made them, it was like, how can my noodles look different than your noodles? So we chopped up parsley, fresh onion, and lime, and we did all these things. So I think kind of having that background a little bit. Plus, when we went, and this is all when I was younger. I'm talking about like when I'm still in Louisiana. I moved from Louisiana to Texas when I was 13. So I'm soaking up all this stuff, at a young age. And then between my aunts and my uncles doing crab boils and knowing the seasonings and Old Bay and spices, like all that kind of manifested itself into now to where like now I can do the same thing, well, use the same ingredients that I saw growing up, but I can actually put it in these dishes. So it's a combination of a lot of stuff, man. Also just guessing. Also, I'm the weird one on the call, y'all. When y'all dream at night, pay attention to your dreams. Put a notebook next to your bed, a pen that's not ran out of ink, make sure it's closed so it doesn't dry out. If you have a recurring thought, or if you have an idea, a recipe, if you play guitar and you wrote down a certain lick that you had a dream about, write that stuff down. Magic comes to you in your dreams. A lot of dishes that I put out, or we put out, a lot of it came to me in my dreams. So really be in tune with yourself and really like, you can have a background and your family can teach you all kind of stuff, but the factory starts working when all the subconscious memories and all that stuff marry and come together, and you're just gonna create some good shit. So pay attention to your dreams. And also get quiet time to think for yourself.
I love this hype talk out of nowhere. Thank you.
It ain't even hype talk, bro. It's just like, it's what it is.
Hey, it's real though. That's real.
Let's see. For me, I guess I haven't really talked about like my recipes. A lot of my stuff is Vietnamese or Vietnamese inspired. And it's very meaningful for me in my late 20s to reclaim that part of myself. Because growing up, I was like really embarrassed of like my Vietnamese food and everything. I was like bullied for it. I would beg my parents to just have me bring, you know, PB&J. I didn't want to bring our noodles or banh mi or spring rolls or anything because I was so afraid of being different, of being, you know, ridiculed for it. And as I get older, you know, I'm reclaiming that part of myself, and I'm also understanding the meaning behind it because my parents were refugees, and when they came here, they couldn't bring anything with them, obviously, but the food, like that is how they, you know, shared their culture, our culture with me. And to see me reject it, I always think about how that must have made them feel. And I'm wondering, have you guys ever struggled to embrace parts of your culture, and how has your relationship with your culture changed through that?
Brittany, you first. You first. You first.
That one, see, that can go so many different ways for me though. You have to understand, like, growing up as a little Black girl with the hair I had and the mom I had and the town I grew up in, and that's nothing against my hometown, like, but it's very country. And so people weren't used to seeing certain things, you know? So I was treated really bad. Like my hair was cut one time, and I don't know, it just that's like a little dark place for me. It wasn't good. It was really difficult, like growing up for me. But I think that's why I'm so open now, and I think that's why I'm so not reserved. I don't have a filter.
You don't.
And I'm not apologetic about it at all.
I love it. Yeah, be unapologetically yourself. That's the vibe.
I spent so much of my time like hiding who I was. Like you were ashamed. Like my friends would make fun of me coming to school with orange rice with little peas in it. Like they didn't know, like what? Why is your rice orange? Why does it have peas in it? I'm like, it's rice. Like, you know, so I mean, it's children though. You have to understand that too. Like children, they weren't the way that they are now. My children have grown up, like their friends, they listen to one type of music. They like one type of fashion. They are all like very much the same. They dance the same. So they didn't have to grow up the way that I did, but I do make sure that I let them know who they are and their background. And I do make sure that they eat the foods that I ate and they understand why I make certain dishes and who taught me how to make those dishes and where those flavors came from. But growing up, it was definitely very difficult for me. Like And I'll talk more about that at another time. But I'm interested to see what Brandon has to say, because you always seem like you was that top dog. Like everybody, like, even though they probably didn't understand you, they was just like, that's Brandon. I can see that. I can so see that. You know,
I feel like
Brandon.
I feel like my mom, she'll probably tell the story better than me. And by all means, y'all pardon my language, you know what I'm saying? But I really, I never cared. But I didn't have it difficult growing up relating to food, because everybody kind of cooked the same thing in Louisiana. The only time that you got made fun of is if your mama couldn't cook.
Yeah.
So, like, if your mama couldn't cook, like
what's that?
you're gonna get made fun of. But other than that, like, we had even at school cafeteria, they served gumbo and meat pies and all these other things. So like, I was never out of the loop food wise, but I always felt I was like, I never subscribed to, like, and it sounds so cliche saying this, I never subscribed to like societal standards, if that makes sense. So a lot of people can kind of like get down or like question themselves or anything like that, but like, I always put it to where, like, if somebody talks about you or mentions you, you're the topic of the conversation. So that's a good thing. Regardless of what they say, you're on their mind. So I never paid attention to it. I just knew what I wanted to do. And if whatever energy was around me that wasn't conducive to that, I ignored it. I have a very good ignore button. Very good. Like,
That's a good ability.
I think a lot of people should learn it, because the reason I keep to myself a lot, because I was saying this on social media, saying this about social media earlier, I use it for what I have to use it for. A lot of people get lost in it and it becomes them, but I literally have my social media, I make my posts, people come get nachos or the food, and I live my life outside of that. So I think with people giving people too much access to their lives, they start to worry about what people think too much. And these people don't know you. So you're you know what I'm saying? So it's like, I can't let anything that I know I'm not affect me. Mm-hmm. I know your words are false. So why would I take that as truth? I know my truth already. My truth isn't here, so I just live it. Anything else you say is just an opinion. So yeah, if your mama couldn't cook, you got beat up and made fun of.
I'm gonna open it up to some questions. I'm gonna look at the chat and read some questions. Let's see.
Oh man, looking good at this, Jimmy. I gotta watch the picture. It's dark as hell.
Okay, so here's a question that kind of goes back to what I was saying about being bullied at lunch and stuff, but Dave wants to know, how did you manage lunchroom envy/shame? Do you have kids experiencing this today? For me, when I was made fun of and stuff, eventually I mean, of course I convinced my parents to like let me bring just plain old peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. So basic, so boring right now. Like PB&J kind of triggers me now. Because I could have had, Vietnamese food is amazing and I should have been happy, bringing the food of my family. But I honestly, it's really sad, but I would sometimes just throw away the food that my parents packed for me and then like eat chips or eat nothing. It sucked. And so, but now, I don't always eat Vietnamese food, but we use a lot of herbs and stuff and I'll incorporate that into like whatever I'm making. So it's, it's been a journey. How about you guys? I know, Brandon, you weren't bullied, but
we all ate the same stuff. We didn't know. Yeah. Veganism in Louisiana, like, it was very just, I think I visited my grandma probably 2.5 years ago, and she didn't know not to put greens in like like turkey in her greens because I was coming over. She just thought just because it was greens, it was vegan. So it's like that aspect was way far-fetched. Like until I came to Texas, I didn't even think about different foods. We didn't have Mexican food. All we had was Cajun and soul food. That's it. Turkey necks and all that stuff.
So we basically grew up on the same types of food, except yours just had like a Cajun twist on it.
They put Old Bay and Tony Sashers in everything. Cereal, watermelon.
Dang. And see, I grew up like with I kind of ate very much basic, but I wasn't afraid to explore, like, especially with like my mom's side of the family. Like, I put tahini on my fruit, like just simple things like that. My friends be like, "What's that?" You know, or the Lucas, candies and stuff like that. But when I was younger, if I would get bullied, I would just throw my food away, go hide in the bathroom.
Oh my God, I so relate.
I was like a teacher's pet, so I would go hang out with
I
my
was a teacher's
teacher,
pet too. I would just hide out and like
hang out.
help
Yep.
short
I bet
books
you
or
had
what. I wouldn't go plant
I bet you had straight A's too, because you were always in the classroom. You got your work done because you didn't go to recess and stuff. But as I got older, I really didn't care as much. But as I got older, I kind of shied away from my Afro-Latina type foods and background. I just kind of like did whatever my friends did and ate whatever they ate. But now, like before COVID hit, my boys will be taking like ramen to school. They be taking stir fry. They be taking empanadas. They be taking like whatever I made, especially if I did like an event. And whatever I made, they're taking to school, and their friends would try to clown them. And I'd be like, "What would you say?" And they'd be like, I would just look at it and be like, "Bro, how you gonna hate on me when you got chicken nuggets?" And I'd be like, "Oh, that was good." Like, yeah, they jealous, So
Yeah.
these kids, my kids are tough. Like, they're not about to get made fun of.
Good for them. I'm glad. I mean,
Yeah.
that's awesome. I mean, with a mom like you.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And plus, I'm like their size, so I'd be like, "Who's messing with you?" Okay, let's go.
We have a question from Destiny. This is definitely a question for Brittany and Bam. How did y'all learn the business side of things? Are y'all self-taught? There's so many amazing people that are amazing chefs, but don't have the tools to start an actual business. Do you have advice for them?
Mine is gonna be short, so I'm gonna let you go next because mine's gonna be short. Marcus, my husband is a genius. I make the food. I do all the stuff as far as like myself. I just get to be me. I get to just make my food. I get to just film and record, but my husband actually does all the business stuff. So I really wish he could have been here today with me, but he was actually up there with them. He's overseeing my pop-up today. So, but he's definitely the person to get with. And Destiny, we can actually schedule something, girl. You my boo in my head, my bestie in my head. So we can schedule like a meeting, and I can definitely have him break it down for you. I know he'll do it. But he is the brains. He's self-taught. So he didn't have any help. He did all the research. He looked everything up on YouTube. He watched YouTube videos. He looked it up on Google. He has friends that are in business, and he just asks questions. Because one thing about him is that if he doesn't know an answer, he's going to find it out. And one thing about me is if I don't know the answer, I'm going to find out, or I'm going to ask somebody. So do whatever you're doing right now. Just keep asking us. I know Bam is going to have a lot of good stuff for you. So between Bam and Marcus, you probably have some good information coming. Your turn, Bam.
My second response. I think on a serious note, I think when it comes to business is very broad. So when it comes to starting one, I think the best bet of the person who has the idea is to figure out what role they choose to play. So do you want to be the head chef who hustles and bustles and breaks down and clean up? But I'm telling you, that is a lonely road until you start getting people available. So a lot of people give up before they even started. So it's worth to actually take your business idea and flip it up and actually, on a serious note, see what role you want to play in your own business. Even if it's just like, okay, I have these ideas, but I don't really want to cook. I can go to investors. So basically, you pitch your idea to investors. You know what I'm saying? It can come from that, or you could get, you can get your hands dirty and do it that way. But I think figuring out your stance first can actually help you dictate where you have to go for certain answers. To be honest, I studied SBA.gov's website for a little bit because they have so many resources for like small businesses, whether it's taxes, finances, like profit and loss statements. So it's once you start looking at one thing, the next thing automatically comes, because it's really like a follow suit. So I would say to start, like, once you start with searching DBA, everything else follows. DBA, LLC, you fill that out, trademark. So I'm trying to put this in a nutshell, but where I got my information from is literally when I meet a wall, I figure out how to break that wall down. So, or if I can't go past where I'm going to now, I have to figure out what's holding me back. So say with me opening up a, like a brick and mortar, I had to figure out like, okay, like what do what do you call those? Like permits look like? What does hiring staff looks like? Oh shit, now I gotta hire staff. What does payroll look like? So you gotta like see where you're going, then pretty much label all the ways you have to solve that particular equation. But also depends on how far you want to go to. So if you have a vision for a big business, now you gotta start mapping out like potential things that you may run into. Or you can do, like a pop-up business to where you just run Saturday and Sunday. I ain't gonna lie, I love doing that. No stress. I was cool. I had my Monday through Friday to myself. We made good money, but we wanted to take the business further. So I sought out different people in our community. If you actually think about it, it's tons of lawyers, attorneys, people who own their own business. So like start within your community first. But whenever you wake up, like in the middle of the night, YouTube, how to start a business. It's people who get paid for YouTube to give you this information for free. So just use your resources, man. Use your resources and just see what's blocking you and see the best way you can get around that roadblock. That's the simplest way I can put it. Sorry, if that was too much.
That was great. And in addition to what he said, also make sure it's exactly what you want, because Bam, I can say one thing for sure. Y'all really wanted that, because owning a brick and mortar is a lot of work. We were actually exploring that option at one point. And when everything he mentioned, that stuff is no joke, and you have to plan ahead. You have to plan for just in case as well, as far as like finances and making sure that you have enough money saved up to pay your employees and to do build outs if that's the route you're gonna go. Like, it's very hard. And when I heard everything that came into that and how much of my time I was gonna lose, I'm a mom. I have 4 boys. It was a no. It was done. So what we're doing right now, like what they're doing now, we literally make our cheese on Tuesdays and Thursdays. That's my main focus is liquid gold right now. We do pop-up orders at our kitchen on Fridays. And how our kitchen is not a restaurant style. So the building is called Revolving Kitchen. It is like an apartment complex for restaurants. It's dope. It's such a smart concept. Like,
so cool.
It's so dope. If I had that type of money, I would do that too, because it's so smart, like all under one roof. But I only serve on Fridays, and I still have freedom to do everything else that I'm doing. Like my book, I'm literally finally almost done with my book. I have anxiety, so like it took me forever to like actually get that going. Like I have anxiety and I don't focus well. I get distracted very easily. So I'm writing for 5 minutes and then I'm like distracted and then I'm not writing anymore. So definitely whatever you want to do, make sure that is what you want to do. Because before you spend all that money that goes into your business, definitely make sure that's the route you want to go. Because it's nothing to play with, especially when you start going into getting like your LLC and you want to trademark your name and all that stuff. Everything costs something. So don't do it if you're not going to go full force.
So Bianca said what? Was that to my explanation? I know it was kind of ignorant. I can make it more simple. I can make it more simple if she didn't understand like what I said. I know it was kind of everywhere. My bad about that. So I don't know if she said what to that. My bad, Bianca, but you know what I'm saying? You need me to explain it better.
Me. Rambling.
Nah, she said it I think before you had started, so it was like right after mine.
Oh.
Yeah. Well, does anyone else have any other questions? Because if not, we can go to the food portion, and Brittany, you can share what you made and tell us about what inspired your dish. And see, no questions.
Any questions, guys? Because Bam is about to. Clean up.
What are you about to eat?
I don't know. I just got to clean up first. Well, just say to clean up. Everybody, say what's up, Jesse.
Hey, Jesse.
What's up, Jesse? Who else is there?
My boy, just me and Jesse. I'm gonna tell y'all something real quick. Jesse, I got to do a plug. I'm sorry.
Oh, go ahead.
So Jesse makes these beautiful items, guys.
Yeah, your truth
So this
sauce.
is truth sauce, and this is also white lie, which is like an Alfredo sauce. So I had to plug in my boy, man. So also, a side note, when it comes to business, make sure the biggest thing that y'all gonna need is support. It can be emotional, spiritual, financial, physical, whatever type of support. Make sure you have support, because when you fall, you're gonna need something to catch your ass. Also, it is beneficial to have a right-hand man. You gotta have it. You can't run it by yourself. So make sure before you get into something, make sure you have the adequate help, because if not, small business burnout is real. Because the person who normally has, because everybody on your team would have a vision, but normally the person that's going to execute that or write out shit and everything like that, like, you're constantly thinking. So outside of like constantly thinking, the physical aspects of actually running a business is wear and tear over a couple of years. So you have to learn, and I'm still learning myself, how to delegate, because you have to be in multiple places at once. So that's also something to prepare yourself for if you're trying to like grow, because a lot of people can start a business and to be a smaller business, but that goes back to what Brittany was saying, like, make sure you know what you want from your business. Make sure you know what you want from your business, and then you can answer those specific questions later as far as like who to get help from.
Yep. He's right about that right-hand man, because Marcus is mine. You always have to have that, because y'all are going to have to lift each other up when the other one gets weary. It's been times where I just be like, babe, I can't do this no more. And he'll be like, no, you are. You going to do it. And I'm like, man, I can't. And then he'll get frustrated. And I'm like, you got this? What you talking about? You know.
So somebody said, did anybody go to culinary?
Or take a food prep class?
Nope. I didn't. I can't speak for y'all. I did not.
I did not. I learned everything.
Well, you have to, I don't know if this goes into that, but I had to get my food managers and food handlers license. Like, I had.
Did you cook? Did you have to cook when you do that? No, you took a test.
It's a food prep, so I don't know.
I think they just.
No, I didn't do anything.
I did not. The biggest thing I tell people is creation. Creation necessarily doesn't need to be taught, because you can't teach what the universe puts in your head. All you can do is implement it, and you can practice on how to implement it. So, like I said, like when you go to sleep at night and you have these dreams, write that shit down, because that is literally information from the ether coming all into your cranium, and you actually get
a notebook with me everywhere because of that. Like, I have to write.
You have to, man, because throughout the day you have thousands of thoughts. You have some good ones, you have some bad ones, but make sure that the few good ones that you have, you write that down, because that can be the idea that take you from here to there. Write down everything, man. If you don't write down everything, try to remember, but it's beneficial to write it down. So when it comes to like the recipes and everything that we create, it comes straight from our heads. Yep. Like, we didn't go to school. We just said, we can do this. Why do we have to get certified to do it?
We have a question from Stacy about liquid gold and truth sauce. Can y'all explain the process of how y'all created and bottled those?
Brittany, you want to go first, or you want us to go first?
Y'all can go first.
We make it, we dump it in the jar, and we hot pack it, and we label it.
Same exact thing.
Yeah, it's really like so when it comes to like knowing your product, obviously you have to know what kind of product is going into what type of container, because like if you have any sauces, salsas, liquids, hot sauces, ketchups, whatever. You can hot pack those to give it a longer shelf life. So it really just depends on like the product that you're making can help you dictate on how to brand it. But with it being a liquid sauce, you basically just hot pack it and you can sell it shelf stable. Hope that answered the question. Brittany can probably say it better than me.
No, I mean that's exactly what you do though. You just make it and you have to hot fill it, and then you screw it on really tight, and then you hot pack it, and you have to. I mean, it's really self-explanatory.
You can't explain it, yeah.
It's not super hard. It's time consuming though.
Jesse knows. Jesse.
Especially when you're. So I'm the only person other than Marcus that knows my recipe. So I have to always do all the spices. But now I have a team that actually can make my cheese for me. So I don't make it anymore myself. So they make it.
Get to where you at, Brittany. I'm trying to get there. I'll be there soon. I'm trying to make it myself. I'll be there.
You could be there tomorrow, bro. You're still, I feel you though. Like, I feel you. It took me a long time to let the reins go because that's your baby. Like, Liquid Gold is my baby. And I wanted to make sure that I could trust the hands that were going to be preparing it. I wanted it to be made like how I was going to make it. I want it to taste exactly the same because even though they're using my ingredients, you have to do things a certain way. So just find your method and make sure that you have a good method. And if you're going to do it yourself, do it the same way every time. Don't change it. You know, be sure of yourself. Don't present a product to the world that you're going to be afraid to get critiqued, because not everybody's going to like what you do, you know, but the process of getting it done is pretty self-explanatory. It's so easy once you get it down. And yes, we do ship. Bam, do y'all ship?
Almost.
Almost. Sorry, I answered for you. I said you ship nationwide.
Almost.
Yeah.
We're almost there.
It's a lot that goes into it, but we do. It took us a while. Yeah.
Okay, well, I think that's all the questions. Brittany, you want to go into what you're making?
Well, I already made it, but I can't eat yet because I'm actually not really hungry, but I want to show it to you guys.
Yeah.
It's really basic. I did it on my live one time. It's just my my vegan, no, like barbecue, no pork. It's like a pineapple flavored pork. You know what it reminds me of, Bam? When we went to Blue Sushi Grill.
Oh, Blue Sushi.
So my pork tofu, it's like right here. I'm gonna take the tortilla off because I'm not even gonna eat it right now. But it's like the pork tofu, it's like that, and it's bomb as heck. And it's like barbecue and pineapple. And I have a piece of pineapple in it. You can't really see it that well, but
you're gonna eat it in front of us, huh?
It's good.
You have that recipe's on your Instagram, right? On one of your highlights?
On my YouTube.
Okay. So everyone check out her YouTube for that recipe.
But I was gonna put it in a egg roll, but I haven't really been that hungry, y'all. I've been having anxiety all day because of this.
Oh no! What? I mean, I feel you. I'm the same.
Like I don't like I guess I'm just super hard on myself, so I'm always worried about like saying the right thing, because I've been told, like, after I get off, my husband's like, why'd you say that?
Don't worry about that. I'm so glad that you were able to like make time to do this. You know, y'all, Brittany was supposed to work her pop-up, but she rearranged things so that she could be here with us today. So thank you for that. I'm happy that you joined us today. I'm making some spring rolls. Hold on, let me get a plate. But someone earlier mentioned they like that there's salad greens. That's because I need to turn off my background. Yeah. Meeting settings.
Damn, man, that's a big ass salad.
Wait, that's your salad?
That's what I was looking at.
No. So I'm gonna roll these in spring rolls. I'm gonna do a little mini food demo for y'all. I don't know how to change my virtual background. Okay, I'm going through this again. No background. Okay. back to it. Okay, so I'm gonna get a plate, but y'all can look the salad. That's not what I'm making. I mean, it's part of it. But basically what I'm making is so I was thinking about making Brittany's catfish for the protein for these spring rolls to make kind of like a fusion spring roll, but I was talking to my aunt this morning and I was like, oh, I want to make something like really Vietnamese. So this is like fish spring rolls. It's called cá nướng bánh tráng, cá nướng cuốn bánh tráng, and it's just I just bought some vegan fish from the Asian market, and I called my aunt this morning so she could go walk me through how she makes it, because I've like had it with her and I've made it with her, but I forgot how to. I haven't done it by myself. So anyway, let me try to figure out how to set you guys up. Can y'all see the table?
Mm-mm.
Oh no! What? Oh, no. Oh, now. But this is the vegan fish. If y'all can see, it's made with bean curd, which is yuba. You guys have heard of that. It's like a type of tofu. Wait, hold on. I think my sound is not. I don't hear y'all. I don't hear sound.
I was muted because I was making noise.
Oh, okay. I was like waiting to hear your breathing or something. But oh damn, I forgot those spring rolls. Hold on. So the thing about spring rolls is they're a very communal type of dish. Oh no, these are okay. Whenever you go to a restaurant and you order spring rolls and they come all like pre-cut and stuff, like no shade, but that's just not how we usually make them at home. Like when you make spring rolls, it's like really messy and it's like a very gathering oriented type of dish. It's funny I'm making it alone because my mom always says like you don't make spring rolls to eat alone. It's like a family thing. But you guys are here with me. So anyway, this is the vegan fish, as I was saying. I got it from the Asian market. It's seaweed wrapped around yuba or bean curd. It's a type of tofu. And I just fried it and I'm gonna put some green onion oil on it. I will work on a recipe for this to put on my blog. I haven't updated my blog in a minute just because Vietnamese food really takes a lot of work to make. But I'm always trying to share different recipes to show people that being vegan doesn't mean you have to give up your mother culture or anything. So this is what it looks like. I put some peanuts and green onion oil. And then the salad that you all saw earlier is just, it's not a salad. I mean, there's salad greens and I have cucumbers, mint, Thai basil, and this is my 5-spice peanut sauce for my blog. And I'm just gonna I'll just roll like one for y'all to see. Let me know if y'all have any questions. All day I was like nervous because I was like, what if I forget how to roll spring rolls, even though I've been doing it my whole life, but like.
Really?
I wish that this was an in-person event because I really want to feed y'all, Brittany and Brandon, because y'all are always feeding me, and I would love to share these with you.
I guess I'm gonna have to come to Austin.
Oh yeah. I should plan a pop. Oh, that's such a good idea. Someone said I should plan a pop-up in Austin. I'm not a pro like Brittany and Bam. I'm gonna need some tips from y'all. But there you go.
All we need is a location.
For real. Pull up. That would be dope, actually.
All we need is a location.
Yep.
So,
I love it, and it looks good.
Oh, that looks really good.
Thank you.
It looks all fake. I don't want to eat it. It's so pretty. Mine wouldn't look like that.
I'll teach you. It's not hard. Actually, like I'm not even the best spring roller in my family. I would say my sister is. I think she's on the call. She's my rolls are usually they're okay. They're not the best, but they're I forgot cucumber last time. So does anyone have questions? Is there a brand of vegan fish sauce I usually get? Yeah, so it depends on what you so like I have a recipe for vegan fish sauce that it's like for dipping, and you don't really need to buy like a certain product for that, but there's like vegan fish sauce concentrate that you can get, and let me grab it because I got some today. This is from the Asian market. You guys see the brand?
Somebody said, how do you make the rice paper stick? Do you put water on your fingers?
Oh, okay, yeah. Oh, sorry, that's like off camera. So I have a bowl of water here, and like I can demonstrate in a minute. I roll this one up real quick. So to make the rice paper stick, you just water, roll it around like this so that it gets a little bit. You don't have to like make it super wet. Just got to get a little bit of water on it, and then as you are putting the filling in and like putting all the stuff in, the spring roll, the wrapper is gonna like set. What herbs do I have here? You say something, Brandon?
No. I'm talking to Jesse over here thinking about recipes.
Oh, okay. The herbs that I have, so this is Thai basil, this is mint, and then I have cucumbers, and this is just like a salad mix, those big containers. Usually I would also use this other herb. It's a purple Vietnamese herb. I always forget the English name. I want to say it's shiso, but the Vietnamese name is Tiet Tho. It's like a purple mint, basically. But that also is really good for this dish. Yes. I don't know if it's exactly called purple mint, though. I got to check. I don't remember the exact English name for that purple herb, but I'll find out. And whenever I post a recipe on my blog for this, you'll purple something. Yeah. Is there a way to keep these fresh when made ahead of time? So for spring rolls, it's kind of hard to keep them fresh. You kind of have to eat it right then. But what you could do if you were going to make it like for the next day to bring to work or whatever, you could like roll them and then like put some coconut oil on the outside to keep it a little moist. But it's I don't do that because they still get hard even if you do that. It's like a little better, but the best is to just eat it right when you make it. And usually in my family, we'll roll these and we'll like roll as we eat. So like you'll make one and then you'll put the rice paper and while you're eating, it'll set and you have another one ready and you just kind of eat as you roll. So any other questions? Thank you so much. Did I roast the peanuts for the sauce? So for the sauce, I actually used peanut butter. I didn't roast the peanuts. But for the topping for this, yeah, I did roast these peanuts. You can just like toast it in a pan, or if you have an air fryer, you can like pop it in there for 4 to 5 minutes. What else can we add to the roll? It's so funny. My cousin is asking this question because she's Vietnamese, so she knows what else we can add to the roll. Like, so spring rolls, they're pretty versatile because like basically the base, you have these herbs and greens and stuff, but for the protein, you can swap it out with whatever you want. Sometimes I just do like even just plain if I'm feeling lazy. But you can do like there's beef spring rolls. I have a recipe for lemongrass beef on my site, vegan beef made from like soy protein, and I'll do that sometimes. I also have even if like I am out of tofu or like whatever, I'll do like edamame or something. They're pretty versatile. And so as you can see, I do a lot of like Viet fusion stuff. So you don't always have to have the exact Asian protein, but you can get the flavors with the herbs and like the sauce and stuff. That's what's most important. I wish y'all were here. Who's gonna help me eat all this? I'm not even that hungry.
And see, I made all this, and my kids are gonna eat it, but yeah, they're gonna eat it all. I never have leftovers.
What are you gonna eat, Brandon?
Air and water.
Come on, you work all day.
Brandon, go get some chili
Hungry.
mac.
Man, shit, by the time I drop this,
No,
you know, the other side of the world.
it starts at 7.
Yeah, it's in Garland, right?
Us, North Dallas. It's right off of Skillman and Ardelia.
Anna asked, "What did I marinate the fish with?" Actually, I didn't marinate this at all. It's like already kind of pre-seasoned, so I just fried it and then put green onion oil and peanuts, because you don't necessarily have to marinate it, because the sauce is key. That's what's gonna bring everything together. What kind of fryer do I use? So I just used a pan, like a wok type pan, and a couple tablespoons of oil. But you can also do this in the air fryer. Mine's just broken right now, so I didn't do that. But yeah, you can do this in the oven. But when I talked to my aunt this morning, she was like, the oven method is not going to be as good, because what you want it to be like crispy on the outside, but tender on the inside. See how the texture, like, you don't want it to be, because when you do the oven, it'll dry it out too much. And she was like, you can do the oven if you want, but it won't be as good. So either fry it or air fry would be the best method.
And you said you found it at the Asian market, right?
Yeah, the fish I found it at the Asian market.
I've seen that. I've been scared to try it, so I'm happy that you actually tried it.
Yeah, I'll send you a picture of what it looks like. And I'll post on my Instagram like the brand and stuff, so y'all can know what to look for. A close-up fish shot has me. Well, I guess that's it. I could keep rolling and talking to you guys. Does anyone have any more questions? Or Brittany, Bam, any last thoughts, or anything y'all want to promote that you're working on?
No, I mean,
Ladies first.
no, I think this was great. I enjoyed talking with you guys. I really don't have anything new that I can talk about right now, but just know, stay tuned. Follow me on Instagram, and also subscribe to my YouTube channel. I'll be uploading more stuff next week. Also, I will be starting to talk more about my fitness journey and trying to grow my booty back, because I got skinny. So y'all about to watch me get thick.
I love how we always talk about this. We're always hyping up each other's booties. I mean,
Yes. You should see my mom. Well, I'll talk about it with you another time, because these people are gonna think I'm crazy.
Yeah, your mama?
Just childish.
Jesse, don't. I will end you.
But I will say thank y'all for having me on this call.
thank you.
I now have to
time out of your day.
I now have to wash dishes. I have been up since 3:30 this morning, and I have to wake up again.
I hope you go to sleep right after this.
Probably not, but it is what it is. I'll sleep when I'm dead. But I appreciate y'all for having me. We are located in Irving, Texas. We're looking at opening up very soon. We're going to have a smoothie and wrap shop, which has specialized wraps, smoked vegan meats, all made in-house, sauces, everything from scratch. We are big on supporting local brands. I actually want to get Fineapple Vegan, in the shop. So the Liquid Gold. So we want to be that stop to where like you can come through without a doubt and know that everything you're getting is quality, vegan, and just you're supporting your local, what I'm saying, your local chefs in a sense, all in one spot. So
yeah,
love that.
And Brandon is actually open all weekend doing like pop-ups tomorrow and Sunday. So y'all, whoever's tuning in from Dallas, FYI.
I am. I'm sorry, I forgot I was serving. God damn. Okay, so
Brandon.
hey man, look, it's a lot in this noggin, okay? Tomorrow from 11 to 5, we will be having nachos, classic nachos. On Sunday, we're having our smoked barbecue jackfruit sandwich. You can either get soaked. Oh my, I need to go to sleep. Smoked jackfruit or smoked soy curls with our maple bourbon barbecue sauce.
I'm so sad that I'm in Austin. Oh my God, I need to come. I mean, I'm coming up there for Thanksgiving, so.
Come on. Oh, also, if anybody's in town, on this call, we're doing a give back for Thanksgiving. So on Thanksgiving Day, we'll be here for a couple hours and we're serving free food. So if you don't have anywhere to go, stop by Bam's Vegan and pray for somebody that day.
I love that.
Right. Aww.
So sweet. Someone asked if I'm gonna take a bite. I'll take a bite for y'all, and then we can end.
I did like this.
Finally. Oh my gosh, this is my first mukbang actually. I mean I don't do this a lot. I'm usually behind the camera. I don't never.
You have to do this.
Nah, this ain't no ASMR.
I'm not doing that. Okay.
Oh, Bam, somebody wants to know how to donate to the give back.
I'll drop a link soon. So if they follow me on like Instagram, I'll when I make that post officially saying it, then anybody wants to donate, they can do like Cash App or anything like that. I just want to make sure I write it down so I can write what was donated if they're sending it to Cash App.
I'm gonna get y'all's. I'm gonna drop Bam's and Fineapple Vegan's Instagrams in my Instagram so y'all can follow and have any other questions. Y'all can ask us there. I'm working on a recipe for these spring rolls to share with y'all soon. Oh, I guess speaking of self-promotion, I'm so bad at promoting myself. I'm doing a bake sale. I think I've had enough orders, but I mean today's the last day. I'm raising money for an organization called the Okra Project. It's a nonprofit for Black trans people. They help provide services like mental health support, and they do like food assistance for people worldwide who are Black and trans. And I hope that you guys can support. Just message me on Instagram if you want to order. Today's the last day, so.
Send me.
I'm gonna Cash App you, man.
Huh?
I said I'm gonna Cash App you.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Oh, you guys!
Send me your Cash App, please.
It's only $3.50, but what I got.
I don't keep much in my Cash App either. I'm low key scared of Cash App sometimes.
And the feds.
Okay.
But
if there's any last questions, thank you, Courtney. I'm so glad you were able to tune in. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in. I really appreciate it.
Thank you guys.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, thanks to Brittany and Bam for making time to do this, because they like are running their businesses. This is a really draining time. Oh, Brooklyn, thank you so much for coming too. Sorry, I'm just so happy. This is my Dallas vegan fan. I love you guys. Okay.
I'm about to go up to my kitchen because I still have time. So I'm about to pack up my chillins and I'm about to go up there and get us some chili mac.
Oh my God,
Yeah,
yum.
Huh?
I said I'll pull up because I don't think it's too far from my house.
Okay, cool.
Cool.
Bye, y'all. Thank you, everybody. Bye, Ann. I love you.
Love you so much. Thank you so much for being a part of this.
Yes, thank you for having me. Bye-bye.
Of course. Yeah, I really thank you and Bam for making time to be a part of this. I'm so happy we could do this.
We'll do it again.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Easy.
All right. I'll see y'all in Dallas.
Deuces. Thank you, Ann.
Thank you, Brandon. Love you so much.
Love you too. I'll see you later.
All right. Bye.